welcome back to the show. Let's get my next guest out. He is the star of countless Hollywood blockbusters and an accomplished jazz musician as well. It is the weirdly wonderful Mr. Jeff Goldblum.
What's that guy called?
Wow. You.
Hey, thanks, John.
I've been a fan of yours for over 30 years.
And we've known each other for a long time.
And how amazing does Jeff Goldblum look, ladies and gentlemen? He's, I think he looks so young. If I'm right, I went on Wikipedia. It says you're 98. Is that correct? And you look amazing.
I'll be 99 in 3 weeks.
No, but he's 70, ladies and gentlemen. I've not seen a more spry or attractive 70-year-old ever in the history of humankind.
Well,
what's your secret, Jeff Goldblum?
I have no secret.
What do you do?
Well, I live nicely, you know. I like to sleep. I get my good sleep. I like to sleep, don't you? You
Indeed.
You know, and try to eat reasonably and.
How many hours do you get of the sleep?
Oh, now that you mention it, I love 8.
8
hours, yeah. Last night I got a little over 8, and and then I topped it off with a nap today at lunch. Yeah.
Same. I had a nap today too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Can you
How long
power
was your
nap?
nap?
It was like a little over an hour.
A little over an hour, really?
That's not a nap, that's a sleep.
No. It's perfect.
Hey, but you know, hey, can I do something? Watch this. I'm very good at this. Did I get it? I got it.
You got it.
My dad was a doctor.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, but when you did that, I broke wind at the same time. So you have magnificent knowledge of anatomy.
My doctor always does the prostate exam right after that.
Yeah.
Weird memories.
Shirley, are you a napper, Shirley? I imagine you're a bit of a dynamo.
I am absolutely not a napper.
Oh.
I do not take a nap. I do not sleep 8 hours a night. I'm lucky if I sleep 4 or 5.
Oh, no.
4 or 5 hours?
Yes,
Well,
no. I've never been a good sleeper, ever, never.
And Lee, you look like you don't get any sleep, but how much sleep do you get?
I don't.
Jeff, we've been talking to John here a little bit about his children, and you have 2 children as well,
Yes,
I believe.
do. I've got
Don't expect a clap.
Yep. They're not brand new. You get a clap for a new one.
Oh, look, there's my whole family.
Okay.
That's
Beautiful.
me, and that's Emily, my beautiful wife. And that is the big one with the astronaut costume is Charlie Ocean, our now 7-year-old, and that's River Joe, about to turn 6 any day now.
Lovely family. Congratulations.
Sorry. Whoa.
Yes, Lee.
How come you've got kids that age and you're sleeping in the day? How does that work?
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I mean, they go to school.
That's what you're
I'll
doing
have to
wrong,
try
Lee.
that.
Yeah, try that. So Jeff is in the country with his band, the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra, okay? And he's has a new EP out as well with the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra called Plays Well With Others.
There it is.
But there is no Mildred Snitzer in the orchestra.
No.
So don't go expecting that. But Mildred, the name, she was a friend of your mother's, wasn't she?
She was a friend of my mother's, yes.
What a great name, Mildred Snitzer.
That's a funny name, yeah. She was a good egg. She lived to be 104.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
She saw us play once. But we do have Mathilde Brown, who's singing with us tonight. We have Kelly Clarkson, who sings on the album.
We love
And
Kelly.
we have Frida Payne, you know.
Band of Gold.
Yes, Band of Gold. Can you sing it? Do you know that hit from the 70s?
Since you've been gone, it's a band of gold.
Ah, yes.
Why,
remember
hold
that.
it. Why have we got John Legend here and you and I are singing?
He's a very accomplished musician.
No one wants to hear that. Well,
I sit at
early
your
on,
feet.
I told John you on the show, and he said, of course I know Jeff. He said he's a better pianist than I am.
Oh, no,
I
not
did
true.
say that. That's a fact.
I sit at your feet. I want
That's
to
a
learn
fact.
from you.
Yeah.
I'm a humble student. But I like to play.
Yeah.
Hey, I like your shoes.
Thank you.
And is that the way to go? That you don't tie them, you just leave
That's
them?
how they designed them, so you didn't have enough to tie them with.
Of course, they've got that Velcro shoe now.
Yeah, but
My kids love a double knot.
On the shoe?
Yes, when I help them
because
tie
if
it,
you're running around, it won't become loose.
I guess, and they do a lot of running,
Yeah.
I guess.
And if when you're asleep they want to tie you up, a double knot means you can't get them.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's funny you said that. They like bondage of all sorts. They like to... They love the idea. No, nothing ribald about it, but they love the idea of getting me incapacitated.
Incapacitated.
Yeah.
When did you start, though, your love of music? Because I did not... I knew you played piano from years ago. I didn't know it was a serious love of yours. And it clearly is. At what age did you start playing?
But I started around 10, I think.
10 years
you
old.
know, 9, 10.
And John, what age did you start?
I was 4 when I started. I started playing in church mostly. My grandmother was a church organist, yeah.
But you grew up around gospel, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up
So
around
that was
gospel music, and that's what I played mostly as a
Where?
kid.
Where'd you grow up?
In Ohio.
In Ohio. I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. We're neighbors. I went to U of Pennsylvania.
You
in Philadelphia.
did?
Hey, Shirley, how's your mum?
Really great. Yeah, really good.
I saw her down the spa the other day. Yeah,
so
lovely woman. I asked her.
We're sorry.
We bought some potatoes, actually. They're on special offer at the moment. They're lovely potatoes. Yeah. I like your shoes, by the way. I just...
Nice beats going on there, yeah. No laces.
Let me ask you about jobs before you do what we know and love you for. You all must have had jobs when you were making your way in your respective industries. Jeff, you kind of hit the ground running pretty early as an actor, didn't you? So did you have many jobs before acting became a solid career for you?
No. I lucked my way into show business jobs and a Broadway show early on and other things. And one thing led to another, and I just kept working in show business, but on stage or in film. But for 1 week, when I went out to California, 4 years after I was in New York, I moved out to California, I realized I was running out of money. I needed a job, and I looked in the paper, and I got a job selling over the phone stationery equipment. I lasted 1 week doing that. Either my system is very sensitive, which it might be, or it was coincidental, but I wound up in the hospital with a kind of an illness. I made it out, but that's the last straight job I ever had.
John.
But my first job out of college, I was a management consultant.
Wow.
So I worked at a company called Boston Consulting Group and just did, like, spreadsheets.
So just spreadsheets?
Spreadsheets,
But
PowerPoint slides.
I get the feeling you're the kind of guy who likes a neat spreadsheet.
I do. I was a good math student, and I liked numbers, and I wanted to do a good job. But I also wanted to get a record deal and get out of there.
Yeah. The choice between the two is fairly straightforward. Shelley?
Worked at a solicitor's when I was 15 as an office junior. They sent me on day release. I learnt shorthand and typing. And at 16 and a half, I wanted to move to the bright lights of London. Had 3 days to find a job. I found a job I was underqualified for because I was so not equipped for the job. I would do the filing. They couldn't find anything in the filing cabinet. I'd do the typing, and the other secretaries would say, she can't spell. And just say, correct it for me, and I'll redo it again. I had many jobs. I was working from probably age 9 to help my mother so that I could dance.
Wow.
And I would never change a single thing of that. And, of course, by the time I was 17, I turned professional and earned a living from dancing. So that was great.
But you put the graft in first. Lee, briefly, let's have some of yours.
My first job, actually, was... I got thrown out of school. I went home, thought, what am I going to do the rest of my life? I put the television on, and horse racing was on. And I thought, I'll do that. So, genuinely, I just thought, that can't be hard. It's the only sport I thought you can do where you don't have to do most of the work. The horse will do it.
You have to be short.
I used to be very small.
Oh.
So, my local stables in my hometown was Red Rum. Probably the most famous horse in the...
He's our Seabiscuit.
Yes.
Okay.
I used to go and give the other horses a walk round like a dog on a lead. Didn't get on the back, just used to walk them round.
Fresh air.
Fresh air, bit of a walk round. Now, the problem is we didn't have a gallops at these stables. It was famously... He trained the most famous racehorse behind a second-hand car lot, trained him on the beach. So I had to walk him around the high street. Just walk this horse around the high street. Little skinny 16-year-old. And a horse, when it gets aroused, it's quite big. This thing, I kid you not, was swinging like this. It was then I regretted wearing my My Little Pony T-shirt. It was swinging like this, and this, I swear to God this is true, it took the wing mirror off a Ford Anglia.
Wow. OK, well, you know, I hope that if you get the chance to see John Legend live, when he's chatting to you in between songs, he recounts that story to you as well.